Can I catch a fish using a safety pin? As someone who loves fishing, I know us anglers can spend a lot of money on our favorite rods, reels, and especially hooks, only to end up catching tiny little things. Obviously, I'm not just gonna tie a piece of string onto a safety pin, hoping for a fish that's dumb enough to bite it, only to end up losing it the next minute. Instead, I want to make this thing into a proper functioning hook. Well, any basic hook has to do three things. It has to be sharp enough to pierce the fish, it has to be curved enough to keep the fish on, and it has to be strong enough that the fish doesn't end up breaking it. Starting with the curve, I'm going to cut off the locking part of the safety pin. I'm going to slowly bend the pointy end bit by bit into the profile of a hook. Now once that's done, I'm going to repeat it a few more times until we have a set of basic hooks. Next comes the strength part. Well, safety pins are typically made of something called high carbon steel. And if there's anything that I've learned watching 8 seasons of Forged in Fire, is that high carbon steels can be hardened. And that's exactly what we're going to do here.
It will kill.
Finally, I'm going to sharpen these hooks on a whetstone and let's head on to the surf. Well, the tide looks pretty good. Let's see if this thing actually works. So I've made this into a high-low rig where there's one hook on the top and another one on the bottom. And I'm going to be baiting them up with some shrimp. I mean, they seem sharp enough and the hooks themselves aren't too bad. So ideally, we should be able to catch a fish. But there's only one way to find out. Well, I'm definitely getting a lot of pecks and they seem to be pretty good at biting the bait off my hook. I have no clue why they aren't getting hooked though. Oh, there we go, there we go. Oh well, that explains why I haven't been getting any fish. These guys, these are called trigger fish. These guys are basically the chipmunks of the fish world. Probably a school of them down there. Yeah, they just nibble on your baits and they don't really commit to a full bite. But this guy did. At least that's good. Well, I guess the challenge is over. But I still want to see if I can catch a bigger fish. And we're gonna let this guy go. Well, I was casting out once again and that's when I noticed my bigger rod was getting thrashed by something definitely bigger than what we got last time. I rushed towards the rod, picked it up, started reeling it in. But by the time I could actually feel the line, I was pretty sure that the fish was already gone. Yeah, this was definitely a bigger fish and it was definitely no match for our pin hook. But I was still curious on what it might be. So I put on a regular circle hook and I casted it out once more. And this time, in a few seconds, it was fish on. So I reeled it back in, but it was just a tiny little blubber in it. Well, this definitely wasn't the fish that broke us off, and if you guys want, I can come back and try again. But it's getting pretty dark, and for now, to answer the question, can you catch a fish using a safety pin? Yes, you can. Well, as long as the fish is small enough.